Now with Professor Stephen Caliendo from North Central College to weigh in on today's historic decision. Stephen, thank you for joining us. We have heard from the governor and the mayor all cautioning about what's next. What other rights could be in jeopardy predicated on that right to privacy? How do you view the most at risk?
When I initially hear claims like that in a political discourse, my first instinct is to say that's a slippery slope argument. We've just had a long discussion of gun control, and to say to take away my right to have a nuclear weapon is a slippery slope argument. But in this case, it's not a slippery slope argument because the way that the decision was written here undermines the legal reasoning that was in place in 1973 in Roe versus Wade, which dates back at least to 1965 in the Griswold case, and then, of course, moved forward on those other cases that we heard about, the sodomy cases, of course, and then the same-sex marriage cases. And so it's very much in the realm of possibility, whether that's the intention or not, once the legal reasoning is removed, that there's a fundamental right of privacy around reproductive rights, it's not in the Constitution, then all of these things can start to fall by the wayside.
Now, with regard to abortion rights, Illinois law does protect the right to abortion, but we know some 26 other states are likely to outlaw it now. And it's just not as simple as going to a state where it's legal. What are some of the complications?
It's simply not. It's simply not. And in fact, even back in 1973, when Roe was decided, we don't talk as much about this aspect of the case, but one aspect was the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, because the argument was that even though some states had the abortion procedure was legal before Roe, somebody in Texas, Roe in Texas, wasn't able to travel because she was poor. And I think we're going to have those same kinds of questions that are surfacing now, too, about travel. And then also, because of that, I think as the president highlighted, the notion of travel restrictions and states that banning abortion trying to restrict their residents from traveling to other states. Furthermore, many abortion procedures are not performed in person. They're performed via pharmaceuticals. And so how are we regulating mail? Are people going to be having their mail searched to find out that they're not, that they haven't ordered a pill? It's going to be very messy, Roseanne.
And is a federal law outlawing abortion possible?
It absolutely is. If the Republicans take control of both houses of Congress and there's a Republican president elected in 2024, that's certainly possible. And it's certainly possible that the Congress could try to pass a law in the opposite direction to say that it's improper for states to restrict that. All those would be, both of those types of laws would be challenged, of course, through the courts as well. But we've really seen what the U.S. Supreme Court is wanting to do with respect to this issue of privacy. And we have, the latest three justices, I think, are all in their 50s. So they're going to be on the court for a long, long time.
Right. And what impact will this have on the upcoming elections?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an important part of it, too, in the midterm elections, because it's become, now abortion rises to the top of the list of most important problems facing America. It's a salient issue for Americans. So the congressional elections, and then also moving to 2024. We just had redistricting, so that affects the way the congressional elections will happen in November. And so all of this becomes very important at the same time that we're still trying to have conversations about gun rights and other issues in the country.
Okay, Stephen Caliendo, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate it.
Thank you.